Imagine going to a foreign country, asking one local a question, not understanding what the flip they're saying, and then, as a result, you proceed to shoot up the whole village. Should have taken Duolingo lessons. Now, I'm not just reading a news headline. What I just said was pretty much the plot of Resident Evil 4. I may have missed some details like the president's missing daughter or some evil cult, but after all the Epstein files got released, who even cares anymore? None of this is real. And on that note, Resident Evil 4 released on the 11th of January in 2005 for the GameCube. And it also released on the PS2 in October of that same year. And released on PC in March of 2007. And released on Wii in that same year in May. And released in iOS in 2009. And on the Zeebo. Wait, what the flip is a Zeebo? But lucky for you guys, the game is on sale on Steam at the minute for like $3. But only if you're subscribed. So if me saving you guys money isn't a good enough reason to subscribe, then I don't know what is. But you get the idea. Resident Evil 4 got released so many times, but then the question is why? And the answer is because the game's just that good. This game had a lot riding on its shoulders, since it was the first mainline Resident Evil game on a new next generation console. So it had to live up to the previous PlayStation 1 trilogy, which literally pioneered the survival horror genre. So Resident Evil 4 had some giant boots to fill. And did it fill those boots? Nope. It went in the complete opposite direction. Switched from survival horror to action horror and focused more on giving players the freedom to tackle any one scenario in 100 different ways. Want to shoot that zombie in the head then kick him? How about shooting his kneecaps off then suplexing him? That works too. This game ditches the horror to turn Leon into a complete action hero with unnecessary backflips and one-liners to boot. And at first glance, this may seem like the worst decision for a Resident Evil game, but have you considered this? You can throw eggs at the enemies. Absolute cinema. This game trades the traditional fixed camera angles of horror games combined with the restricted movement with the tank controls, as well as the lack of ammo for a heightened sense of atmosphere. You begin this game in a rural Spanish village, where they're roasting this good man on a stick. And then you naturally move through the village to a cathedral, then through some sewers, and then a castle. And then finally, you take a speedboat with a Chinese lady to an island. No, not that island. Get out of here, Palm Beach Pete. And the great part about this atmosphere and transitioning from place to place is that it doesn't just take place in a cutscene or a loading screen. We, the player, are actually taking Leon around the whole of Spain. Unlike other games, Resident Evil 5. Now, gameplay. Because
if it's not fun, why bother?
This game pioneered over-the-shoulder third-person perspective. So, many of your favorite games were inspired by Resident Evil 4 in one way or another. This game feels very snappy and responsive to control. Yes, you can't move and shoot, which does force you to weigh up the risk versus reward of each counter. Do I want to keep my distance, or do I want to shove my foot down his throat? Your choice. Doing so could leave you open to that man with a chainsaw. And then now you can see how each scenario can be played 100 different ways. And the best thing about this is that there's no wrong way to play. That means how 10-year-old me played by standing in a corner and just crying was also a valid option. Very slow, but it's still valid. And on that note, 10-year-old me was also pretty bad at video games. So lucky for me, this game had adaptive difficulty, meaning literally anyone can beat it. Which probably makes sense why they re-released it so many times. Because after every time you die, the game adjusts the enemy HP, how much ammo you find, as well as other factors. It might make the game easier or harder for you to progress. So there's literally no way to get soft-locked, unless you rage quit, but that's on you. The absolute most memorable thing about this game is how unhinged Leon is. Just had a near-death experience? Where's everyone going? Bingo? Leon, you literally nearly got your head chopped off by a chainsaw. But whatever man, you do you. Leon just does the most for anything in this game. There's a room full of lasers. Why is this man running up walls? Just been kidnapped and tied up for hours and your partner in the FBI asks what you've been up to? Sorry, been a bit tied up. Yeah man, no wonder she rejects you at the end of the game, buddy. Better luck next time.
You're kinda cute without those glasses. Give me your number when I get back.
May I remind you that you're still on duty?
Oh! He needs some milk!
Now, have I sold you on why you should play this game that released over 21 years ago? Now go play that game instead of the remake. And if you want me to explain why the OG is better than the remake, let me know in the comments. And for now, I am gonna go take a nap.